Greetings, fandoms of the internet. It is I, that Canadian fangirl. Sorry, we're gonna no script here. Welcome to the next episode. And today, well, as I said before, one of my favorite franchises of all time is Pokemon. And ever since 1998, we've gotten a brand new Pokemon movie every year. So today, I'm going to count down my top 23 favorite Pokemon movies. This is a subjective list about movies I personally like. If you disagree, tell me your favorites in the comments. And heads up, this is not including Pokemon Detective Pikachu. That is going to be its own episode. That is its own thing. I want to talk purely about the animated films. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number 23. Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea. Hands down, my least favorite movie. I do not like this movie. I know I'm in the minority. I know a lot of people do like this film, but I don't. I mean, it looks nice. There's a couple of good jokes from Team Rocket. Both of them are meta jokes, and I love the music. There's some great music in this movie. Everything's good except for the CGI, which is awful. But no, I don't like this film. It is a boring slog. Everything I'm upon this movie, I'm just bored. And Manaphy is supposed to be the cute mascot. I don't find it that cute. It's just more obnoxious because they're on that boat for what feels like 40 minutes of screen time, and nothing's happening except for cute bonding moments with Manaphy. I don't like the Chaos Girls. I can't say I'm a big fan of the villain. I get the idea that it's supposed to, highlight the Pokemon Ranger games, which are great, but it just seems weird. Actions find it kind of pointless, and I know people are like, oh, well, this is May's movie. Here's the thing with it being May's movie. Outside of her bonding with Manaphy, May doesn't really do much for the plot. I've always found that weird, that her relationship with Manaphy is supposed to be uber important, and nothing really happens of that. At the end, she just kind of stands there while Ash saves the day, and I always found that weird. It's like, no. It's weird. Why is she really involved in the climax? She's really not. And I don't know, one thing I always felt really weird about this movie is the stakes in the movie feel kind of low to me. Where it's like, oh, if the villain succeeds, he's gonna wipe out the people of the Wild's Temple. I mean, that is kind of a bad thing, but it's like, outside of the couple of side characters in the dude, we don't know anything about these people. If they're really still around, how much that will affect the world. It's like, I just don't get this movie. It's boring. It is not fun for me, but if you like it, good on you. I just don't. Number 22. Pokemon Galatina and the Sky Warrior. Main reason I don't like this film? Well, I have to get to the Flower Garden right away. Do not like Shaman. Do not like Shaman. He is an annoying little thing. I'm sorry. Yes, Shaman's cute. I don't like his gimmick. And that's part of the reason why I don't like this film, because my main problem with this film is that the subplot of this film takes precedence over the main plot. So much of this movie is about Shaman when it should be about Giratina. And it's like, can we focus more on Giratina and not Shaman's antics? It's so obnoxious to me. And yet, the Diamond Pearl trilogy is not good, but I'll get to that next entry. But and Giratina is a really cool legendary. I love Giratina. The reverse world is really cool designed. And like, if you had more focus on that would be great, but you said you're focusing so much on Shaman. And it just doesn't work for me. And like, yeah, more things happen on it, so it's not boring, and it is annoying. Shaman's ending with Ash is kind of great on you really quick. Like, it's not really an interesting villain. The climax is not great. It's like, Diamond Pearl was a huge misstep. Number 21, Pokemon Arceus and the Jewel of Life. Again, like I said, the trilogy is not good. This is like the main reason I don't like the Diamond and Pearl trilogy. Because here's the thing, trilogy implies it's one story. It's one story told over 3 movies. No, these are 3 separate movies tied together by a very, very loose subplot. Nothing in the other 2 movies going to Arceus really affect Arceus. It is its own movie. It doesn't need the other 2 movies in this trilogy to work. They try to basically, tie in Arceus stuff to the other 2 movies. Like, oh yeah, this is planned. It's like, no, it wasn't. And like, this movie is kind of bland. It's like, the side characters, it's kind of there. The story's fine, but again, it doesn't work. If it was supposed to be a trilogy, maybe, but it's like, no. If they would have just dropped the trilogy aspect and made it its own movie, it would have made it its own movie, it would have been a lot better, but it's like, the end of a trilogy? No. No, it doesn't work. Hang on. The pages are stuck together. I'm using a script for the first time. Number 20, Pokemon The Power of Us. The second movie in the new continuity film, Power of Us is a mess. This movie is so messy. There are so many characters with all their own plots. All these characters have arcs to go through. And the story just makes no sense. Every time I watch this film, I just can't follow it. The conflict is forced. You have this lying subplot, you have Poachers, you have Team Rocket, the climax makes no sense, there's this gas that's coming in to affect the town, they're trying to produce an antidote, the mountain's on fire, and that's burning, and there's the torches, they get the wind to blow, and it's like, at the end of the day, I just don't care. I don't care what any of these characters, it's so unbelievably weird, and they keep kind of pushing like, oh, everything can be done when people and Pokemon work together, and I got so annoyed at them saying the word people all the time. It got really annoying to me. And again, I've been not invested enough in this plot to really care about what's going on, so again, at the end of the day, like, I just don't care anymore. It's like, this film is so messy. I'm sorry, I don't like it. Number 19, Pokemon Genesect and the Legend Awakened. An okay film. Forgettable characters, boring story, doesn't really stand out. Most of the climax is Genesect are finally their being at these Pokemon. Ash and company are trying to stop them. Then you have the red Genesect and Mewtwo flying and chasing each other at really high speed for like 20 minutes of screen time. It's just kind of boring. It just kind of exists. And like, yeah, having another Mewtwo makes no sense. I think people agree. Everyone points out that there's a second Mewtwo. It's like, yeah, it's weird that there's a second Mewtwo. It's like, so another group of scientists found more Mew DNA, cloned another Mewtwo. All these scientists died in another explosion. This Mewtwo also hates humanity, or people, as this film puts it. And like, where does this DNA come from? Mew loses a lot of DNA. How? How the heck did they clone 2 Mewtwo? Like, and everyone points out, oh, Ash forgot who Mewtwo was. I don't think that's the case. I think he did recognize who Mewtwo was. Mewtwo just cut him off. Like, if you paid attention in that scene, it looked like after the belt identifying him as Mewtwo, and then Mewtwo. The thing is, like, I don't know, it kind of keeps continuity. They didn't need that, but yeah, this film is okay. If it didn't exist, this movie has nothing to value. Number 18, Pokemon Jirachi Witchmaker. Alright, let's talk about Max and the Jirachi. I don't like Max. I've never really liked the idea of Max. He's kind of annoying to me. And, the truth is, unlike Pokemon Ranger, this is Max's movie. He is there in the climax, actually actively helping Jirachi, which makes it, which honestly gives it a step up from May doing nothing to help Manaphy. But it's just kind of a their plot. It's like they're trying to get Jirachi to this place so that he can sleep. The characters are there. The villain's not really that interesting. They create that Groudon monster, which is kind of cool. He looks creepy looking, and I do like the idea of you have these gooey tentacles basically, swallowing up all these people, all these human Pokemon basically kind of kill them. Man, I love the music. The lullaby in this is legit really fun, and I'll sing it sometimes. I'll find it popping in my head time to time, and I'll probably sing it on my kids because it's a good song. Jirachi. Okay, so Jirachi is cute. Jirachi's eyes are what get me. I don't know why. Every single time I see Jirachi, I think of Digimon. It's just the voice and the eyes had a very Digimon-esque look to them, and it always puts me off. It's like, no, this is a Digimon. This is supposed to be a Digimon, and it bugged me. It so bugged me. It's like, yeah, not the worst. I like the friendship between Max and Jirachi. It is sweet. That's really it. This film is kind of okay. Number 17, Pokemon: The Rise of Darkrai. The first film in this trilogy, which is probably the best of the three. I mean, going back and watching all these movies again, I kind of thought the worst. It's actually probably the best because I do kind of like this film. It's not good. It looks nice though. Characters work. My problem with the show is really the pacing and the tone. Well, the first half of this film is really slow, really kind of dramatic, has a slow build up, it has atmosphere, and it's like kind of has this mystery element to it, and I kind of like that. And then the second half suddenly is an action pack. The town is appealing, people are panicking, they're trying to save the day, and it's like these tones do not match. It's like you had a slow build and then you have action. Like, no. The first half is probably the best half because like I like the mystery. It's like it's a good mystery, what's going on with this town, what's going on with Darkrai, what's in this fog. And like it's a bit slow, but it's kind of fun. And then it turns into an action-packed Pokemon movie. It's like, oh, this doesn't work. But it is probably the best of the trilogy. Number 16, Pokemon Strikes Back Evolution. A CGI remake of the very first film. It's fine. It's the exact same plot as the first film, and it's fun. They go back, we get the revisit of the stuff, they fix some of the dumb mistakes from the first one. I don't hate this CGI, it looks good. The color going with the stylized look to it, and it works. It's like, I mean, you're going back to the designs from the first movie and you're having the new dub actors in these roles, but it's kind of jarring, but they make it work. It's fine. It's the exact same plot. Mewtwo invites them to train to his island. You have a battle with clone Pokemon. Ash dies. They fix them from in the first movie. It's an okay film. Number 15, Pokemon Heroes. Meh. It looks nice. There's some cool designs and angles of this film that make it really kind of atmospheric. This plot makes no sense to me. I don't really like the villains. I'm just always confused watching this film. It's like, the Fanfiction of Ultraman is just kind of weird. The soldier's kind of a MacGuffin. Like, the Fanfiction of Ultraman is like, it was designed to attack the city, and then it ends up with the villains using it to resurrect a bunch of ancient fossil Pokemon. They almost flood the tower. It's like, I just never got the point of this thing. Like, this is a confusing mess of a film. It's like, I don't know. I don't know why I always get confused in this film. This is me. At the last film with the OG cast, it's not great. It's not a good farewell to that cast. Watching on Latia's work is legendary. Watching his death is touching. I guess this was meh. Number 14, Pokemon Volcanion and the Mechanica Movo. Another fine film. There's a lot of megas. I do like the battle at the end with all the megas. Like, there's some really good comedy in this film. There's some really good slapstick with actual Volcanion on it, of them, you know, slamming into it. Which is always really fun. Which is funny to me. It's some good slapstick. It's like, oh, what's the Pokemon name? I like the mythical in this. Volcanion's fine. I forgot the name of the mythical Pokemon in this, but I like her. It's good. The rest of the group is just kind of there. Oh yeah, there's more human Pokemon work together. Oh, Volcanion just trusts humans, so of course he's gonna sacrifice himself. Like, yeah, it's not fine. Number 13, Hoopa and Pokemon Hoopa and the Clash of Ages. So I really like this film, and I really don't get the hate this film got. Okay, no, I tell a lie. I do get the hate. It's like, but a lot of the hate with this film is like, it had existed in Pokemon before. And honestly, this one got weirdly overhyped. I remember seeing the teaser and the poster for this film, and people got excited for this film because you saw Ash on the poster with all these Legendary in the background, and the trailer showed all these Pokemon flying about, and everyone's like, oh, this is gonna make a really epic, you know, Legendary fight. So it's, and then when it was, and people got, it wasn't a Legendary fight. I don't get why people were disappointed at that, but whatever. But I like Hoopa. Hoopa is a fun little Pokemon and has a really good hug. The setting of this movie is really cool. The animation is nice. I love how all these Legendary come in and all fighting in the city. It's a good film. And I know when people point out that Ash and his friends are there, it's like, that's existed in prior films. Like, it's always been filmed where they just kind of show up and have no reason to really be there. Like, that's always existed. You had the focal Legendary being annoying. Shaman! And, they contributed to other films. The side characters of their things has always been a thing. And I don't get why this film gets all the hate when you have Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea and the Diamond and Pearl trilogy with this, but I don't always like this film. I don't get the hate for it. Number 12, Pokemon Secrets of the Jungle. This is the most recent film at the time of recording, and probably the last animated film we'll ever get from Pokemon. Honestly, it being number 12 is honestly surprising me because I didn't think this film would be that great. And yet, not a good plot. It's a Tarzan-esque story with a environmental story kind of thrown in about humans basically trying to mine resources from the jungle and basically the Pokemon fighting back against the humans. It's like, yeah, not good, but the hug of the story is Kogo and Zarude, which is real solid. It's a really good focus that does work. I love their connection as like basically their father and son connection, which is great. I didn't pick the well there, but not Ash's story. This is Kogo's story, and it does end with Kogo basically being both human and Pokemon. And again, I always love stories with adoption, pro-adoption stories, because as someone who is adopted, I love seeing stories where parents and children basically are like, yeah, we love you despite the fact that we're not really technically related by blood, which is always, you know, gets me, because like, yeah, adoptive parents are just as good as, you know, other parents. Hell yeah, I love that. If this is the last animated film we ever got from Pokemon, this is a good note to go off of. It's nice animation, it's fun characters, it's some good music. Godspeed, Pokemon, this is your last film. But, ow, in mine, we haven't had a Pokemon movie since, so it could be. Number 11, Pokemon I Choose You. The first film to basically give a new continuity to this film. And, again, it gets a lot of hate. I'm not gonna say I don't understand it, but I do it. And, again, I like the fact there's a different continuity for these movies, because, like, it's kind of fun. I would have liked to see the original dub come back, considering they all go into Kanto again, but the cast is fine. I mean, it's a different take, and I enjoy this kind of, different, take on Actor Pikachu's journey to Kanto. It's a fun little story about, Actor Pikachu's relationship with really great. I saw this film in theaters when it came out. The experience of seeing this movie in the theater is freaking great. Everyone was singing the same song. And I'm gonna say that I like the ending. Pikachu saying, "I want to be with you" is real touching. It's a really sweet moment that kind of encapsulates their relationship. And no, Pikachu wasn't actually talking. I think he was saying, I think it was, Pika Pika Pika. But I think at that point, the idea was that Ash was dying, and at that point he was able to hear the true meaning of what Pikachu was saying in English. Which makes that scene all the more touching, and it's a really, really nice movie. I love this film. Number 10. Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back. The very first movie ever is on number 10. Yeah, it's fine. I grew up with the 4Kids dub. It is corny. But here's the thing, as corny as that dub is, there are so many problems with that first movie. It's like, oh my god, the 4Kids dub of the film is so messy. And let's be honest, the reason the film is so beloved is nostalgia. It's like, it's not an amazing film. If you think it's an amazing film and you think it's one of the best, take off your rose-colored nostalgia goggles and watch it again. It is so dumb. It has major errors. Like the dub changed so much stuff. They'll animate, they'll dub errors. They change plot points. The animation's not the greatest. 4Kids added that weird anti-fighting war, which makes no sense. Again, not a good film, but objectively, I love this film. It's, again, not the best film. I know this was mainly nostalgia, but it's like, it's still, again, it's good. Number 9. Pokemon Zorug Battle of Illusions. A film I really do like. I really like this film. Though I love Zora. I love Zorug. Their relationship is really touching. Celebi is probably one of my favorite legendaries of all time. So, seeing Celebi show up in another movie is fun for me. Yeah, the villain was kind of weak, but... And there was a lot of exposition in this film. Like, this film was like 20% exposition. But I'll say this. I cried at the end of this film. Seeing Zora and Zorug at the very end of this film, and Zora looks like he's dying, got me teary-eyed. That one got me crying. It's like, it's probably my favorite film from the Diamond and Pearl. It's probably my favorite Diamond and Pearl movie, but it's not saying much because it totally sucks. And I like seeing the legendary dogs, get, Raikou and Suicune get some time. They get to fight Zorug. It's fun. I like this film. It's good. Number 8. Pokemon Destiny Deoxys. So, yeah, I used to not like this film, but I watched it a few more times. It's grown on me. It's weirdly laid back, and yeah, it takes its time. But it's building up this really cool environment. It's building up a lot of characters, with all fun. You have the battle with Deoxys and Quasar, which is a really fun fight. And I really like the song This Side of Paradise. It's a really catchy little bop, and I just love that song. My biggest complaint with this movie is I don't like the climax. There's only 2 climaxes in this film, and I kind of drone out when the security robots are going berserk, and suddenly they have to, magically, scan this passport to basically shut down the robots. Like, yeah, that entire second climax was not needed. You could have ended it with the whole. You could have cut before that scene, but this is a good film and I like it. Number 7. Pokemon Kyurem with the Sword of Justice. A super story with Ash and his friends traveling with Keldeo as he recovers from a fight with Kyurem. Kyurem at the legendary is super cool. I love how the way this film gives him this menacing vibe. Like the Ice Chicken Dragon, what I like to call him. I love calling him the Ice Chicken Dragon. Ashton's friends have some great contribution to this film. I like that Iris and Silent, basically get their own moments, basically, help you in their own ways. I kind of love the story with Kelly and the Sword of Justice. It has this neat little story of how they how are training Kelly to basically use a sword and all that stuff. I love that. It helps that I do like the Musketeer trio. They kind of always remind me of the Butterfly Sleeve trio from Kingdom Hearts. If you really think about that, like, it's kind of Aqua, Trakian, it's like Terra. Van kind of remind me of Keldeo. I don't know, that's me. But yeah, it's a simple little story about Keldeo learning about the power of friendship, using it to gain his own sword. I like the film; it's good. Number 6, Pokemon Bikini Black and Reshiram, and White and Zekrom. The film, they got 2 versions. You have the Zekrom version and the Reshiram version. I've always preferred Pokemon White a little bit better, but Black's also fine. The attention to detail in the film is great. How they different, the 2 versions. You have different camera angles, different Pokemon show up, different shiny Pokemon. You have different characters in different scenes. It's a neat little tip. It's a right little touch that Pokemon did not have to do when they did. I do like them, talking about the dual national Pokemon, but it's really cool. And it's a fun little film. Victini is like one of my favorite mythical Pokemon. He is so cute. It is impossible to watch Victini in this film without having a huge smile on your face because he is that adorable. I love him. It's like, technically Enough dies in this film. If another film where he dies, but it's like I've always that scene at the end always kind of felt different to me because it's an intense climax. Like, you have the castle basically being moved and being lifted into space, and after the die and almost freezes to death, and the Victini basically warms them with this fire move. It's a really intense climax that hits me hard. I don't know. I like this film. It's a fun film from Pokemon. It's at number 6. Number 5, Pokemon Forever. My top 5. I like Forever, and it's kind of hard to explain why. Yes, we have bad CGI, but it is a good film. As I said before, Celebi is my favorite legendary, and watching Celebi just being adorable in the film is so fun. I like the time travel aspect. I like the interaction with Ash and Sammy. Sammy being from the past with the different Pokemon designs, some cool little world building that Pokemon basically, added to the film. One thing I know, but everything time Celebi shows up is always an environmental story in these films, and it works fine. I love Celebi. I like this film. Moving on. Number 4, Pokemon Spell of the Unknown. I know. Number 4. Let me explain. I like this film. Everyone loves this film. It's not my personal favorite, but I do agree this film is good. It's a great film about Ash. His mom gets kidnapped, and he embarks on this whole journey to save him. There's some really solid animation. Everyone does something in the party. You have Misty and Brock basically having their own battles to help Ash. The Pokemon battle gets a huge aspect in these films. It's kind of cool. Entei is a really impressive looking Pokemon. I do love Entei in this film. Molly as a character, you do sympathize with her trauma, and you do get where she's coming from. The Unknown are really unimpressive Pokemon in the game, but the movie makes them. But the movie and the anime Unknown look super impressive. And the psychics who use the energy of a child to create this amazing landscape, and it makes them really powerful. Yeah, this film's really good. Not my personal favorite, but I get why people like it. And hang on. Number 3, Pokemon Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. The very last film to ever be dubbed by 4 kids before they lost the rights. This is hands down one of the best films 4Kids could have done, and probably the best film they could have got out on. Like, this is basically their swan song. I don't hate the new era Pokemon dubs. Like, the new dub cast is fine. They just all grew in. I'll say this. Okay, Veronica Taylor's always going to be Ash to me. Sailor Nanachani has grew into a role, and I actually really do like her take on Ash. But, man, I miss the days of 4Kids dubbing Pokemon, like everyone else. But, like, Pokemon was, like, the only thing 4Kids ever really did right. This was, like, an amazing story for them. And this movie does everything right. I love this film. I love this movie. I love Lucario. I love his UGG. It's a great story with his UGG with Soleo, and I love that. Simple story, Mew takes Pikachu away to the Tree of Light. Ash and his friend travel with Lucario to find Pikachu. Ash and Lucario have a great relationship. It's the introduction to Aura in the Pokemon universe, and we get to learn about Aura Guardians. Ash has a unique aura. It's actually really cool. I do like that Lucario basically thinks he's Soleo because they have the same aura signature. It's some really cool world building that they're probably gonna do anything with, but it's fun. Ash, the idea that Ash could control Aura, and that he technically kinda does in the climax, kinda, is a really cool and neat little touch of the story. It's also not a malicious threat. They'll know what antagonists or villains in this movie. Mew just wants to play with Pikachu. And yeah, Mew just wants to play with Pikachu. That's all Mew wants to do. The Reggies and the Tree of Life are basically kind of like, I mean, the movie said white blood cells. They're basically a security force, basically make sure no one hurts the tree in the ecosystem. And like, they're just protecting themselves from basically, foreign intruders. It's not malicious, and I do like that. Lucario's death is great. It's really well handled. And my only real complaint with this film just kind of stops. Ash had one final line. We had to zoom out, and then they just cut the credits. But when you're watching the credits, you kind of see the end of the story kind of playing out, and I don't know, that's always bugged me. Because I do like the story they're telling in the credits, but one, the ending of the credits is great. The opening theme to the song is great. I love the theme song with this season of the anime review. In addition of this is great. Yeah, top-notch film. Love it. Probably one of 4Kids' best works. Love this film. Number 2, Pokemon the movie 2000. This has always been my favorite movie. I was shocked when it's not my second favorite. We'll get to my number 1 in a bit, but Pokemon 2000 has always been like the perfect film for me. I like the first film, and like, you couldn't top it. This film topped it. Like, you're gonna get higher stakes in the first movie. This film has higher stakes. This was amazing. And one of the reasons I think these films always have high stakes is because of this, but you can't top Pokemon the movie 2000. The world is ending. If they don't do anything, everything's going to die. You can't top that. I know, and the reason why I do like when you have things like movie 3 or Lucario, where it's like, yeah, this is kind of like more laid back story, but like when they always like, oh, we have to do this because high stakes. Like, you can't top the high stakes of this film. You just can't. And it's like one of the reasons I love Ash. Ash has always been the coolest guy to me. As a kid, he was the coolest. He's just this enthusiastic little kid who wants to explore and adventure, but will do the right thing if push comes to shove. And I love Leslie Bird. I love Lugia. Lugia is an amazing Pokemon. Yes, the villain is kind of weak, but it's not about him. It's about the forces of nature having been disrupted, and how someone has to brave the storm to basically set the world right, or we all die. Yeah, it says after the chosen one, but everyone around him does something to help. You have the side characters, you have his friend, you have Team Rocket. They're all pitching in to basically help out save the world. It is probably the film I've seen the most. I have it on countless DVDs of the film, but I got the release came out. It's probably the film I've seen the most. I never get tired of watching this film. It's beautiful animation, it is funny, it is dramatic, the music is great, the soundtrack of this movie is probably one of the best. I love the soundtrack of this movie. I never thought I'd see Pokemon movie 2000 to be top for me. But it did. But even with that said, I still love this film. It is still probably hands down one of my favorite Pokemon movies of all time. I love this movie. Number 1, Pokemon Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction. This film topped Pokemon the movie 2000 for me. I don't know how it topped my favorite movie of the franchise, but the very first film with the Cal Squad did. The Pokemon X and Y really got me into the Pokemon anime again. I kind of fell off. I was occasionally watching Black and White, but I fell off. X and Y really got me into the anime again, and it's probably some of my favorite. Out of the whole anime, X and Y is probably my favorite. It's one of my favorite. It's some of my favorite seasons. You get this shift to this kind of more mature series, where it's like, it kind of felt like Cal was trying to be more grown up. You definitely felt like Ash had matured traveling through Kalos, and that he was going to win the league. So when this movie came out, I was getting really excited to see how they were going to handle it. I was impressed. This was fun. I love the gang from Kalos, Serena, Clement, Bonnie. They're some of my favorite traveling companions. You know, they're great together. They all get their own moments that really shine. They all kind of do their own thing that basically help. I like Diancie as a fun little character with a fun arc. Well, Diancie's whole story is, trying to, make more diamonds trying to make a hard diamond to basically save these Cobings. Diancie connected with Lilius makes sense because in the most fairy types, you can tell the awakening is really chilling. It's a great little scene. It's nice and intense. There are no really villains in there. You have a couple of thieves who basically kind of show up to basically, steal Diancie because they're trying to basically, make some money out of the fact that Diancie can make diamonds. But like, that's really just kind of. It's not like those kind of thieves. They're trying to steal Diancie, and then you can tell has been awoken and about to destroy basically nature because Yveltal is the Pokemon of the destruction Pokemon that basically, coincide with Lilius, and it's like, the kind of Pokemon Yveltal is basically destruction, and it makes sense. The idea that if Yveltal is not stopped, the entire region, or the world, if not the world, could basically die, because Yveltal basically gonna suck up all life, and basically leave everything basically, kind of destroyed. That's some pretty big stakes. Not as big as movie 2, but it's handled well. I do like it. And I think the reason the film stopped it for me is because of the ending. Pikachu dies. We've seen Ash die in countless films. Movie 1, movie 8, movie 14. He dies a lot. But Pikachu is the mascot. We've never really seen Pikachu die. So, they're killing off Pikachu because they got hit by Yveltal's attack, and Pikachu is dying. Pikachu is the mascot. You didn't think Pokemon would have anything to basically kill off Pikachu, and they do. And seeing Pikachu turn to stone, that's basically creating his best friend. God, to me, it's a very good solution for how they handle death in these movies. It's so good. It's a fun, entertaining little film that just impressed with what Pokemon can do, and yeah, Pokemon DNC and the Cocoon Destruction is my new #1. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about my top 23 favorite Pokemon movies. I know probably not everyone's gonna agree with this because, again, this is a subjective list. These are my opinions of what movies I think are the best. Everyone has their own opinion about what movies they like and dislike. If you have a different list, leave it in the comments. Tell me in your reply what film you think is your favorite Pokemon movie, what's your least favorite Pokemon movie. I mean, you have to list the reasons why, but you can if you want. Or tell me if I'm wrong. Also, tell me if you really like this podcast. I'm getting a lot. If you really like this podcast, and if you like this podcast, share it with your friends on social media or word of mouth. That's how we go this audience and how we make bigger episodes. Remember to follow me on all my socials. I'm on Twitter at PokemonJill, Instagram at PokemonJFan, Facebook at Jill Soudrin. I still haven't been my Twitch yet. That's Twitch is that Canadian fangirl. Wattpad at JillStow43. Fanfiction at Santa Crosby Forever. I have a Pokemon fanfiction if you want to read those. I haven't updated in a while, but yeah. Yeah. Next week, we're probably going to talk about something different. But really interesting. But yeah. Thanks for listening. Remember, when people ask you which fangirl do you pay attention to, you listen to that Canadian fangirl. Which Canadian fangirl? You listen to that Canadian fangirl. See you later, fandoms. Keep staying positive. We need positivity on the internet. Later, people.